Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for being here this morning to help outline the details of our 2024 Summer Youth Engagement Strategy. As is the case every year, our goal this summer is to keep our young people safe, connected, and engaged. We are continuing to make tremendous progress in making Baltimore safer. Today, we stand at a 37% reduction in homicides and a 28% reduction in non-fatal shootings. I'm going to say that again. We stand at a 37% reduction in homicides and a 28% reduction in non-fatal shooting, down additionally from last year's historic reduction. This year, we're seeing half as many youth homicides and a more than 70% reduction in non-fatal shootings involving young people. But despite the progress that we've made, violence impacting young people is always a specific concern as we head into the summer months. We will double down on our efforts to keep Baltimore's young people safe. And we know that this work takes all of us, which is why I'm standing with so many of our partners that span city government, our community violence intervention ecosystem, and other community partners focused on our young people. Today we have with us Director Moore from Rec and Parks, Director Mavronis with Monsi, Director Dr. Bunley, Director of MOAM, Dr. Brooks, Director of MOCFS, Director Garvin from MOAD, Dr. Santelices from City Schools. We have representation from Baltimore's Promise, We Are Us, the Peace Team. We have Laura Schwartz from Waterfront Partnership, Joe Bratton, the Chief of External Partnerships for the State's Attorney's Office. We have the Enoch Pratt Library. We have We Are Us. We have the President and CEO of the Children and Youth from Alicia Lee, and Youth Advisory Council member Lawrence Somerville, along with Janine Tucker from the Family League of Baltimore. In other words, we have Lottie and Dottie and everybody that works around young people here with us today. This is our entire city coming together as a village to uplift our city's young people. Last year, I charged my administration to put together a comprehensive youth engagement plan, a plan that sought out the voices of over 300 young people to tell us exactly what they wanted to see out of a comprehensive engagement and events effort from the city last summer. A plan that integrated those opportunities with non-law enforcement safety engagement around the city's curfew ordinance. Our young people said loud and clear that they wanted rec centers open later, team-specific pool parties, and to bring back midnight basketball, and that's exactly what we delivered. This year, we're building off of that work and the lessons learned last summer to again ensure our young people are safe, connected, and engaged. We're doing it bigger and better than ever with more events on the schedule, including those midnight basketball games, team pool parties, and block parties for the whole family to enjoy. We're also extending hours at 11 recreation centers across the city every Friday and Saturday from June the 28th through August the 16th. These include Cahill, C.C. Jackson, Fred B. Loddick, Greenmount, Madison, Middle Branch, Rita Church, Roosevelt, Robert C. Marshall, Edgewood, Lyndhurst, and Herring Run. In addition to this program, we will have youth engagement staff on the ground on the weekends in 3 zones from beginning tomorrow, Friday, May the 24th. The youth engagement staff will be made up of city staff from the Mayor's Office of African American Male Engagement and MONSE, and our community partners at We Are Us and the Peace Team. And let me just get ahead of this and say that we will have them engaged wherever the young people are. We're not going to broadcast where we're going to have them engaged, so don't ask. These workers will engage young people on Friday, Saturday, and holiday Sunday nights from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. in each of these zones to develop relationships, encourage them to make safe and good choices, make sure they're aware of city resources, and when necessary, help them find a way home or to a safe place if they are out when they shouldn't be. Let's be clear. Curfew has always been on the books in Baltimore, and last summer we took significant steps to change our approach to one based on this type of engagement focus. This year, we're building on what we learned from our success last summer, and will again prioritize engagement with our young people in ways that ensure they are safe while limiting unnecessary interactions between youth and law enforcement. The curfew hours will remain the same from last summer as they are in the law. Any young person under the age of 14 out after 9 p.m. and between the ages of 14 to 16 out after 11 p.m. without a parent or a guardian will be engaged by this team of non-law enforcement staff, where they will first be encouraged to go home or to call their parent or guardian. Engagement staff will distribute information around city resources tailored to support young people and their families. In the event that they need transport, they will be provided a ride here to Middle Branch Rec Center, which will serve as our Youth Connection Center, where they'll be supervised by youth engagement staff and provided space to get some food, rest, play, all the things that they may need until they are picked up. And as a part of our integrated approach at pickup, a calendar of summer programming information will be provided to both youth and their guardians to raise awareness of youth-centered summer options and to deter future curfew violations. New this year, we're also standing up a rapid response team that will be available to respond to pop-up gatherings all summer long, not just on weekends. We believe that this strategy reflects our values of avoiding criminalizing our young people for simply being black and outside, and limiting unnecessary interactions with law enforcement, while also ensuring appropriate accountability for young people, parents, and guardians if they are doing something that they are not supposed to do. I want to be clear that young people that break the law will be held accountable. However, we're going to continue to do this in the right way. The Connection Center at Middle Branch will be operational from Memorial Day to Labor Day. Any young person who needs transport here will be provided it by MOAM or Rec and Parks. Do not be mistaken. This is not a detention center for our young people. This space will intentionally balance our positive engagement opportunities and provide connection to resources for our young people and their families when appropriate. As always, our approach will be informed by data collected from past curfew attempts, including the need to lead with structured support outside of school hours. If you have a phone, please place it on silent or vibrate, and immediate connections to services and resources tailored to specific needs and interests of our young people and their families. The team here is absolutely committed to ensuring that every single young person in Baltimore has a safe, productive, and fun summer. The Summer Youth Engagement Strategy is a part of our broader public safety efforts, focus on a comprehensive approach that treats these violence like a public health issue, because that's what it is, and informed by the data and feedback from young people themselves to address the specific issues that kids and teens deal with. Every single person up here works tirelessly to make this strategy a success and to work for our young people each and every day. Continue to build on, learning, and adjusting our approach every step of the way to ensure that we deliver for Baltimore's young people. I want to encourage our young people, their families, everybody to come out this weekend and have a good, safe Memorial Day weekend. City pools will be open on Sunday. We'll have a Rec and Parks kickoff at Rash Field, where there'll be free food, music, resources, and fun for the whole family. We hope to see you there. With that, I'll turn it over to Director Mavronis, Director Moore, Dr. Santelises, Bridget Blount, the Deputy CEO of Baltimore's Promise, and Lawrence Somerville from our Youth Advisory Council. Director Mavronis.
Thank you, Mayor Scott. My name is Stephanie Mavronis, Director of the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement. Our 2024 Summer Youth Engagement Strategy focuses on proactive ground-level engagement designed to prioritize the safety of Baltimore's young people and direct connections to resources for youth and their families over traditional curfew enforcement. Monty, together with the Mayor's Office of African American Male Engagement, has partnered with We Are Us, community-based social workers, city schools police, the Peace Team, and others to mobilize youth engagement teams across our city where we know our young people congregate. To reiterate what the mayor shared, these workers will proactively engage our young people between the hours of 8 p.m. and 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday evenings and holiday Sundays. Our goal is to engage positively with Baltimore's young people and encourage them to be safe. And as a secondary goal, really making sure that whether we're talking to a young person who may be out with their older siblings or their family, that we're able right there, point in time, to make connections to critical resources. Staff members will distribute information on the summer opportunities, some of which you just heard the mayor mention, through the city and school system, as well as resources that can be utilized by our young people and their families. These resources and events were tailored by surveys conducted by our partners at the Mayor's Office of Children and Family Success, where young people aged 13 to 17 were surveyed at 19 schools across the city about their feedback and what they wanted to see. We'll also have on-site documentation and a way to track the data throughout this proactive engagement. This is something that will allow us to make adjustments to our strategy in real time and conduct follow-up and also inform our future proactive deployments. And so that's information that we look forward to sharing. Our approach this year is informed by lessons learned from last summer, where we saw success engaging young people on the ground in areas they tend to congregate. As you heard from the mayor, new this summer, we're standing up also a rapid response function. And in the event that a young person requires transportation, they will come to this center. As we did last summer, we're going to be looking at the data and what we hear from our young people to fine-tune our approach, learn what's working and where we may need to pivot. We know that unnecessary interactions with law enforcement don't make our young people safer. And this approach is about minimizing that contact while also making sure we're positively and preventatively engaging our young people using credible messengers, tapping into great organizations doing work with our young people in the city, and making sure that our young people all know about the amazing events that are scheduled this summer for them. In tandem with our summer youth engagement strategy, this Saturday we'll also be kicking off Safe Streets 4th Annual Safe Summer, where sites from across the city come together to build community and promote safety and uplift our residents. The theme this year is Cool Heads, Warm Hearts, and it's really in that spirit that we bring to this work as well. Ultimately, our priority is implementing a plan that ensures Baltimore's children can enjoy their time off of school, exist safely with their families, and in ways that foster their own development and don't jeopardize their safety of them or those around them. Thank you very much, and with that, I'll turn it over to Director Moore from Rec and Parks.
Thank you, Dr. Marvonis. Good morning, everyone. My name is Reginald Moore, Director of Baltimore City Rec and Parks. I want to first start by thanking Mayor Scott for his continued support and his commitment to our young people and how we engage in the summer, and also thanking each and every one of the partners that stands here today for their great work that they're doing to make sure that our city stays safe and our young people stay safe. So Baltimore City Rec and Parks is ready for another exciting summer with a mixture of new and old events coming back this summer, from our summer camps to the pool parties to the late night recreation. Today, I'm thrilled to highlight two new initiatives that we're offering this year. One, mobile recreation, and Friday night lights at Medfield Esports Recreation Center. First, let's talk mobile recreation. Baltimore City Rec and Parks will be partnering with various elected officials and community partners to bring recreational opportunities and activities directly into communities with vans and trailers. This initiative will allow us to expand our summer events and reach more communities. Mobile recreation will feature a variety of activities, including nature exploration, arts and crafts, sports, and gaming, to name a few. Additionally, we're excited about Friday night lights at Medfield Esports Center. This initiative will allow Medfield Recreation Center to be open later on Friday nights, where we will coordinate and partner with our late night recreation centers to offer a tournament format. So our young people will have an opportunity to gain more experience and knowledge around gaming and esports. Additionally, what this will do is continue to give them thrilling competition and also continue to grow the excitement around gaming in our community. Additionally, we're excited. Another aquatic pool season is here. Starting this Saturday, May 26th, all 6 of our park pools will open this year, highlighting 2 renovated pools that needed much repair and upgrades. The Cherry Hill Splash, that's directly outside of this door, will be open to the Cherry Hill community, and also Patterson Park Pool Phase 1 will be completed. And later this summer, we'll be celebrating the reopening of our Ambrose Candy Pool. A few weeks ago, we partnered with Play on Purpose to host a middle school basketball tournament at Rita Church Recreation Center. The reason I mention that is because we want to continue to work in that partnership and collaboration this summer as we continue to offer midnight basketball. Midnight basketball will start July 12th. You can register now. Age groups of 15 to 17-year-olds. What's also exciting is Charm City Games is back in Baltimore as it was last year. Charm City Games will be August 11th through 17th. We will have 4 sports that we're offering this year: basketball, baseball, soccer, and track and field. Stay tuned for more information. This is a great opportunity for our young people to represent their various communities across and coming and engaging and interacting with our young people. And as I close, I want to encourage our young people to stay safe. But I want to remind everyone, if there is no lifeguard on duty, please do not enter our pools. And with that, I will turn it over to Dr. Santelises.
Thank you, Director Moore, Mayor Scott. It's wonderful to be here. I am Sonia Santelises of Baltimore City Public Schools, and I will just want to note at the onset that what you are all viewing and hearing actually is unique across the country. When I talk to district leaders, they marvel at the level of collaboration across the city of Baltimore that the mayor is leading and that we at City Schools are very proud to be a part of. City Schools 2023 Summer Learning Program set records for student participation and the breadth of our offerings, and we are excited that Summer Learning 2024 will be even bigger and better. Summer enrollment opened February 1st. That was 1.5 months earlier than last year, so that gave families even more time to make plans over the summer. We have 60 schools that are hosting their own programs and 14 district-run programs serving 26 sites. We're excited that new this summer, Camp Curiosity expanded their program to be a full-day, 5-week physical education camp, and 10 partner-led programs are serving 20 sites. So additional summer programs through the partnership with our summer funding collaboration include such offerings as Soccer Without Borders, Black Girls Cook, which clearly I need to go to, Harlem Lacrosse, Boardroom Chess, and City Beat Drum Circle. We're also excited that we will continue our credit recovery sites this summer. New Carver is also offering childcare for students in credit recovery in partnership with our CTE, Early Childhood Pathway, and for our students with disability. We have 26 extended school year sites. New this summer, Arts Integration at 2 additional ESY sites, a continuation of our partnership with Enoch Pratt with our Enoch Pratt Author Series, expanded robotics, and by the way, City Schools had 5 teams that made it to international competition, so we're very proud of our robotics. And we're going to establish additional school partnerships that are currently under construction. Again, we at City Schools are very proud to be partners with our colleagues across the city under the leadership of Mayor Scott, and I'm not sure who I'm turning it over to, sir. Okay, I'm sorry. Good morning, and thank you, Dr. Santelises. My name is Bridget Blount, and I'm the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of Baltimore's Promise. First, I would like to thank Mayor Scott, his amazing team, and our incredible partners at the Mayor's Office for Children and Family Success. Each summer, we partner to connect the various agencies and organizations from the Mayor's Office for Employment Development, Baltimore City Recreation and Parks, and City Schools, along with numerous community-based organizations serving youth throughout our wonderful neighborhoods. At BP, we love summer. We spend all year planning it with our partners. Our focus is to ensure there are enough exciting opportunities that meet the needs and interests of youth and families in our communities. We collect information, we map out summer activities, and we work hard to identify and fill gaps for youth who need summer resources the most. To bridge these gaps, the Baltimore Summer Funding Collaborative, supported by Baltimore's Promise, steps in. This coalition of more than a dozen public and private funders works together each summer to provide grant funding, reach almost 10,000 young people in our city. Responding to community feedback and committed to equitable decision-making, this collaborative partners with youth and families to recommend how funders should invest their summer resources. In addition, through our Youth Grant-Making Initiative and Grads to Careers, we provide older young people opportunity to engage in occupational training programs between the ages of 18 and 24. Summer in Baltimore is a critical time, and the Mayor's Plan paves the way for our youth to access the resources and opportunities they need for a safe, healthy, and most importantly, fun summer.
Before we wrap up, here's a call to action. At Baltimore's Promise, we support city leaders with better, actionable data on the experience of Baltimore's youth. High-quality summer programs are vital. They help reduce learning loss and equip youth with critical skills for their future. However, not enough youth have access to the programs they need in their communities. So we urge business leaders, funders, and individuals to find ways to invest in expanding high-quality summer programs in our city. It's never too late to make a difference this summer, and it's always the right time to start thinking about next summer. Thank you again to the mayor and his team for being champions of summer and for showing Baltimore's young people how much they are valued and loved. We're excited for a fantastic and fun-filled summer. Thank you. Thank you, sorry. Next, we're bringing up Lawrence Somerville.
How's everybody doing today? Congratulations. We have reached that time of year when our youth have completed another academic year, a year filled with adversity, I'm sure. However, with determination and dedication, our youth have prevailed, as always. Switching gears from stressful academic challenges can be challenging, which is why I'm glad Baltimore has programs and events that allow the youth to gain meaningful work experience while enjoying themselves. Specifically, I love the variety of events, such as midnight basketball, watching a movie with friends, or relaxing at the pool, which creates a comfortable and exciting experience to decompress. Amidst diligence, we can forget to reward ourselves for our accomplishments or feel guilty for enjoying the moment. But I encourage the youth to reward themselves and relieve stress. This summer, use that work experience to prepare for the future and use these summer events to enjoy the moment. Together, we'll be safe, we'll be productive, and we will enjoy the moment. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much to everyone, and thank you, you all for coming. And with that, we will take questions. Yes, ma'am.
So you mentioned that the curfew was successful last summer. Do you have the data that supports that?
So I'll let Director Mavronis talk about the data, but I think that what we would say about that data, right? It's not just about actual curfew violations. It's about the numbers of engagements with those young people, how we were able to direct them to the programs and services that we were providing last summer. This isn't looking at curfew as it was when I was a staffer and working in the mayor's office, and it was simply numbers driven. How many young people actually came into the center and were just taken home, totally ignoring what was needed for them and their families. And that's why you hear us talk about a engagement focused, a curfew approach. Director, if you want to add.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's exactly right. Last summer, we did work with an independent academic evaluator to review the data. As you recall, last year with the curfew engagement, while we didn't transport any young people, one of our priorities was making sure that we could make direct, immediate connections to services. What we're committed to doing again this year is ensuring that we again evaluate our efforts so we can see what's working. But I don't have the exact numbers in front of me for last year as far as engagement, but we did track our overall engagement. It was in the hundreds as far as young people we were reaching on Fridays, Saturdays, and holiday Sundays. One of the tweaks we've also made with that in mind this year is making sure we have something that can sustain and be ready to respond during the week, because we know that not all the activity is just going to take place on a Friday and Saturday. And so those are some of the tweaks that we've made, but we are absolutely going to be evaluating this again and collecting data about the number of services that we're making connections to, the number of families and young people that we're connecting with, and really trying to track the quality of our engagements. For us, that's much more important than just the numbers of reach, but you also heard about a lot of the great events, and so we'll want to make sure that we can share who we're reaching with all of these events throughout the course of the summer.
Oh, go ahead. So just like last year, they will have identifiable information. These are partners and groups that work as a part of our community violence intervention ecosystem, and that's what we'll say. They will be rapid response going to where they're needed as they do in their work in the system each and every day. No, let me be very clear. None of this is no direct result of anything. This is a result of us evolving our approach and learning from what we saw last year. Right? Historically, as you know, ma'am, historically, Baltimore is only focused curfew enforcement Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This is us now expanding that and having the ability to have focus throughout the week. That's simple. That was Easter. Oh, I thought you was talking about the violence incident. I think that, listen, we know that young people are going to be down at the harbor, right? In fact, we know they're going to be there this weekend because we're having the event there. It's about how we're making sure that those engagements, how we are working with our partners to get those young people where they need to be after hours, be it home or here. And that's what this team and the strategy is about, making those quality engagements with those young people to put them in a safer place and helping them to make better decisions.
Mr. Mayor, how impactful do you believe this strategy will be when it comes to addressing the issue of youth and dirt bikes? Are you directing BPD to issue citations for youth, those providing the motor?
So I'll just jump right in right now, Alexa. Dirt bike enforcement is not just about young people. I want to be very clear about that. If you or anyone else thinks that everyone that rides the dirt bike is a teenager, then you need to know a little bit more about dirt bike culture in Baltimore. These are grown men. These are grown men riding dirt bikes. What we're going to do is what we always do. The police commissioner has talked to you guys about this recently. We will continue to enforce the laws on the books with dirt bikes as we always have, in a safe way to make sure that motorists who are not just those on the dirt bikes, but cars and pedestrians and everyone else are safe. We'll continue to do that and enforce that as we always have. But what we're not going to do is throw in curfew enforcement with dirt bike enforcement and try to mix and match things. No matter what people are doing, if you're out on a dirt bike and you're in violation of curfew because of a young person, you'll be a part of the strategy. Or if you specifically said, Alexa, how will this impact the strategy? This strategy will impact what? Yeah, this is about curfew, youth engagement. Thank you. Finish your question. I've answered it, but finish it. We will enforce the dirt bikes the way that we always have, will always continue to. We will enforce it the way we always have and always have been into. We will enforce dirt bikes the way that we always have and will continue to do. The law hasn't changed. Their approach hasn't changed. They will continue to do it each and every day as they always have since the 90s. Alexa, I think that if you think that the police department is simply going to enforce their way out of dirt bike culture in Baltimore City, then you have a long, long way to go. We're going to continue to enforce it. We're also going to continue to invest in programs like B360 that create separate opportunities for young people, teaching them about the STEM of dirt bikes, teaching them how to create and ride in a safe way, as we do with a summer camp for them each and every year. But we're talking about a culture not just here in Baltimore, but in DC, in Philadelphia, in New York, in Miami, that has been here for a long time. And we're going to continue to work to make sure that we are producing safer results for all the Baltimoreans, but BPD will continue to enforce the laws on the books as they have in a safe way. Yes, ma'am. Well, it's just going to be that, right? If there's an event happening somewhere that pops up during the week, then we'll have that rapid response team do what they normally would do on the weekends and be able to connect and engage those young people to the services that are needed. And I think that is a very great question because, listen, if you just happen to see some resident calls in and they see a group of 10, 11-year-olds out at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning out in a park or in the middle of the street, then there's something that needs to happen for those young people, which is why we need that rapid response team to be able to get there, get to them, and see what they and their families may need.
Follow-up, can you speak with the information, like the information strategy? I know last year we did text messages and flyers. Is that
All of it. Text, social media, everything. We'll be sending it home. Dr. S and team will be sending the calendars home with the young people as they go home for the summer so that they have it in every single way that they can. Yes. So I'll let Dr. Bunley walk you through it, but I'll just say it in a very simple way. You and I are two 13-year-olds, and we're out on the corner of Milton and Ashland, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And Dr. Bunley and the team, somebody from Moaim, they see you. They come, they engage with you, they tell you that, hey, you're not supposed to be out here. We need you to go home. Can you call a parent? Do you need a ride? All of those things, and be able to then connect and see what needs to happen next for that young person. What I will tell you is that 9 times out of 10, once they are engaged in that positive way, the young people do just that. They're able to get themselves home, and if not, we'll be able to bring them here to the center. Dr. Bunley, you want to walk through that, or did I? Come on, Doc, you good? He snuck in the back.
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. One of the things that the mayor has done during his administration is ensure that those who are working with young people build the quality connected relationships with them, be in proximity to children and families. So the way that we are able to be able to move them to positive and constructive pathways, because we have individuals and we train our adults to be able to know how to build QCR, quality connected relationships with children. And so, but you also have to have the individuals, such as the individuals standing behind us, to be able to go to the youngsters wherever they are at any particular time at night. So what does that say? That we are committed to our children and our families wherever they are. But you have to have individuals who have that ability, who have that understanding, wherewithal to be able to engage children and families. So it's as simple as that, but it's because of committed people as those are standing behind us who have the desire to be in the space of children and families.
Just that we're going to have more rec centers, and they're going to be open on multiple days, right? They want more of the positive activity for them to be able to participate in things they want to do in a safe way throughout the summer. Thank you, everybody.